because, as you said, they don't look that good, that solid back there.
Well, maybe watch this space, eh? We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Staying in Manchester, how do you feel about United this year?
Oh, Manchester United fans, I sympathise with you because I can see you on Twitter begging for your team to sign players every time your club dare to post something. And Arsenal fans are the same as well. Yeah, there's a lot that needs doing at Manchester United.
What about Van de Beek?
But I think,
don't you think that's a great
Van de
signing?
Beek is a great signing. Again, from that Ajax team, great to watch, great player. Again, I'm worried about how he fits into that midfield. But
a lot of potential in that midfield. Potentially, it's a very good-looking midfield. I mean, with Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, and Van de Beek, you can play good football.
I do worry who's doing the sweeping up there. Is it Fred? Is Fred doing the defensive sweeping up?
I don't know. He might
or
have
is it
to.
McTominay? I don't know. I feel like they kind of have the same issue as Arsenal. They have more quality in their midfield, admittedly, but they need that person to protect the back four as well, because you saw in the game against Sevilla, they just got caught cold at the end. Like their wing backs can be caught out, and the centre backs, Harry Maguire, he is a very good centre back, but his concentration just goes. And you could see in the goal, the final goal against Sevilla, he was looking the wrong way. He wasn't even in the same zone. I think Van de Beek's a great signing, but I think maybe not addressing the issues that they need to address.
Do you think they can easily make the top four?
I don't think it'll be easy for anybody to make the top four.
I love the sound of that.
Yeah.
I was thinking about another thing concerning United. As an Inter fan, I really want to thank you for Romelu Lukaku
and Sanchez.
And Sanchez and Young. Man, Ashley Young, I'm in love with the guy.
He's a baller.
Did I think he was going to be that good? No, I didn't. But here I am, just praising him because I think he's a great player and I like him as a dude.
He loves it here. You can tell he loves it.
Thanks for coming, guys. And now, Arsenal.
How long do we have?
Let's go through it very quickly. Do you think they're going to make the top four easily?
I believe in Arteta. I think the best of our business is still yet to come. I'm excited by Gabriel. I think Willian is a very clever signing. I'm just praying that Partey and Aouar, I think is how you say it, from Lyon, get over the line. I think that would be big moves for Arsenal. I think I'm going to tip us for top four, but I am more than willing to be proved wrong in about 6 months' time and laughed at.
Yeah,
because Christ, this season was bad enough. Who knows where it's going to go?
Yeah, one day we should do an episode about how difficult it is to be both an Arsenal and an Inter fan. I feel like there are a lot of things in common.
Yeah, we've been through a lot of kind of shared experiences at this point, I think. Yeah.
And staying in North London, your second favorite team, Rory, Tottenham. How do you think they're going to deliver this year?
It's about time for that Mourinho car crash to come in, right?
I
think it's about on cue. I don't know. He started very well, which he does at every club. He's picked his favourite players, which he does at every club. He's pissed off some players, which he does at every club. And I think it will end how it did at every club except Inter when he just walked out, where he will not be liked when he leaves. I just think that's the Mourinho trend.
They love him in Porto as well. They love him in
Milan.
Porto,
they love him in
and
Porto.
Inter. They loved him at Chelsea too. They did love him at Chelsea.
Until his second spell.
Well, until the second spell, and then he got fired. By the way, talking about Mourinho, as you can tell, I love the guy because he gave us the treble and the Champions League in 2010.
And I don't love the guy.
I've been watching the Amazon Prime special on Tottenham. What's the title again?
All or Nothing.
All or Nothing.
No spoiler alerts, it's nothing.
All right. It is actually nothing at the end. Well, I just love the production. I think it's a very good production. I think that it's very interesting because this season was so unusual, not only for Tottenham, but for all the clubs in Europe, that it's very interesting to see also how they managed to keep in touch, to train during the lockdown and everything. And I love to see a Mourinho halftime speech in the locker room. I don't think the guy is done. Sometimes the guy looks like he's done. Like he looks like a ghost of himself.
Towards the end of Manchester United, he looked like he was sleeping in his car. It was painful.
It was very sad to look at. But I think that the guy still has it. I think that Tottenham are very, very hungry to win something.
That's been long enough.
And I think that Mourinho ultimately is a winner. So this year, Tottenham could have a good season. I have this feeling. I have a feeling that they're going to be top 4.
I think obviously my heart says they won't, but my head says they still have a very good team. Bergwijn has been really impressive since he's come in. Mourinho can definitely get a tune out of Harry Kane, and Harry Kane is an incredible striker. But I do want to highlight about the documentary. I just find it funny. I find a lot of it. I think it wouldn't surprise me if Mourinho chose to join Tottenham because he knew the documentary was being filmed. It would not surprise me. That documentary is the Mourinho show. It might as well be called Jose Mourinho, All or Nothing.
All right, let's just move on. I don't agree with you on this one. I love Mourinho. If you're listening, Jose, I'm your biggest fan. I know you're not listening, but anyways. All right, before we move to your prediction about the relegation zone, I just wanted to spend 1 or 2 words about Everton. Yes, I think that Everton have got a sweet little project going, and I love the fact that they're coached by one of my favorite managers. Despite being an Inter Milan fan, I do love Carlo Ancelotti. He's now signed James Rodriguez at the 3rd club where he's worked.
I love it when a manager takes a player everywhere with him.
I love it. And they signed him for very cheap as well.
20 million.
20 million. So I know that there is a reason why he hasn't played many of the last seasons with consistency, but I think that Everton could be the right fit for him. And they've also signed Haaland from Napoli, who is a great signing as well. He's a fighter. He wins the ball. He distributes the ball very well. And he has got a presence that you really feel in the middle of the field. He used to play with Jorginho for quite some time at Napoli, and that was a nice duo to have at midfield. A fighter and a sort of the one who would thread the ball towards the attack. They were a great duo, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see how Everton does, and let's see if Keane. I've never understood how to pronounce it. Moise. Let's see if he can score more than one goal.
I want him to do so well. I think Everton fans have a right to be excited. They've got Ancelotti, but unfortunately, I think maybe it will just be the same thing of Everton should push on and they just miss out again. But we'll see.
All right, let's move to the relegation zone. Who do you think are going to be relegated?
So I'm going to be super quick with this. And basically, I've backed the 3 teams I have backed are. Firstly, I need to apologise to my mate Tom because one of the teams I've backed is West Ham. They are such a bin fire at the moment with selling one of their brightest young prospects to a fellow kind of relegation candidate. And I think they kind of struggled for most of last year, and I think maybe this year it might be a bit too much. The other team I've backed is Aston Villa. They've just spent a lot of money, 30 million on a striker from the Championship. Time will tell if he can make the step up, but I think, again, they survived on the last day last year, so I think maybe they'll just drop down this year. And the final team was Crystal Palace. I feel like they've made a very good signing in Ebereeze. He's quite an exciting player. But you see with teams, they spend 4 or 5 years fighting and then the fight just gets too much and they drop down. We saw it with Bournemouth last year, and I think maybe Crystal Palace, the time has come.
Who do you think are going to be this year's overachievers and underachievers?
So I think they're kind of like the lightest dark horse in history, but I think Leeds are going to surprise everybody. But everybody's saying they're going to surprise everybody. But I still think they will
very
surprise
excited
everybody.
To see Leeds. So I only recently discovered, very honestly, how important of an history Leeds have. And thank you, Rory, for sharing with me all the trophies they've won and what they really mean to English football in general. It feels like everybody is excited that they're back in the Premier League.
I think, like when I said at the beginning that we've got some proper Premier League teams coming back, Leeds is the definition of, like, I think they're probably, even now, still the 5th, 6th biggest team in England, like, historically. Like, incredible history. One town city, like, they all back Leeds. And seeing Marcelo Bielsa in the Premier League, yes, please. After his press conference, after spying on Frank Lampard, and he's just box office, and he's the manager who has inspired the likes of Guardiola, Pochettino. Like, these people all say he is the best coach in the world. So I think they're going to surprise people, even though everybody's expecting to be surprised.
All right. And finally, Who do you think are wearing the most good-looking kits this year?
So I think we both agreed on this one. I think the Leeds away kit was really beautiful.
Leeds away kit looks
very,
very
green
slick.
and black number. That was very nice. I'm obviously a big fan of the Arsenal kits this year.
There are some very nice kits, but which one is the worst one?
Well, again, Manchester United fans, I apologise. You have been hammered on Twitter all week for this. The shirt is okay. I'll give you the shirt, right?
We're talking about the third kit.
The third kit, sorry, I should have been clear. Yeah, the third kit. The shirt is okay. You can get away with that. But the shorts and socks are just awful.
So is that real? That's.
I thought it was a joke. I thought someone had just
because
played around with it.
I could wear that shirt. That shirt looks. I mean, it's very busy. You know, there are many different patterns and stuff, but I like it. I can fuck with it. I can wear it. But man, the shorts
are so weird.
I don't know what's happened. We'll talk about Serie A kits next week, but I'm not happy with Inter Milan's first kit either. Also because when you're watching the game, it sort of makes you
plays with your eyes
it kind of makes you nauseous. So maybe that's a strategy to
to confuse the opposition, right? But I did like Manchester United's marketing strategy was just to get David Beckham to launch it because that guy looks good in everything. They were like, oh, we know this shirt isn't great. How are we going to sell it? Put David Beckham in it, that'll do it. And to be fair, he looked good in it, right?
Yeah. Have you ever seen a picture of David Beckham looking not that great?
No, I'm still yet to find one.
Yeah, me too. So, all right, little man crush moment for us too. I think that's it with our Premier League preview. We're very excited, of course, for the league to start again tomorrow. Fulham and Arsenal are kicking it off. How do you feel about this game?
I'm going to claim it, guys. Comfortable win. Let's do it. Touch wood. Touch wood.
All right. You can find us on Instagram, on Twitter, if you want to yell something at Rory.
If you want to laugh at me, feel free.
All right. And now let's move on to the end of our episode because we've got a quiz to answer.
We do. Hello and welcome back to Rory's Game. So now is the time for Tommaso to try not to embarrass himself and make some guesses, and for me to finally reveal the winner. So, Tommy, do you have any idea who we are trying to guess here?
I don't have any idea. I'll be honest. I don't think I'm that good at this game. Let's remind our listeners what teams this man played for. Africa Sports is number 1. Monaco is number 2. Then he went to PSG, and then he made a move to Italy, where he played for AC Milan. And this is what I'm trying to focus on, because then he moved to Chelsea, and then he went to City, and then he went to Marseille, and then he went to Al Jazeera. What position was he, Rory? Can you just give me a hint?
So, I'll show mercy. He was a striker.
Okay.
And I would say that he's most connected with his time in Milan. Like, undoubtedly, most connected with his time in Milan.
He's most connected with his time in Milan. So I'm guessing he's an African player. And he was a striker for AC Milan. And then he went to Chelsea.
And don't forget the big clue. He didn't retire in the last 5 years.
No, nor in the last 10 years. So he retired quite some time ago. I cannot think right now of AC Milan's strikers coming from Africa.
Now, I'll give you another hint. He's the only famous player from this country.
It's where? It's
in.
Yeah.
There we go.
Actually, when I said I cannot think of any African player who played the striker for Milan, at that moment I was like, wait, George Weah? He's the one.
Moment of inspiration. There you go. You rescued yourself, Tommy. You've done it.
I can also say where he's from. He's from Liberia. Liberia, and he's the president.
He is now the president of Liberia.
He's now the president of Liberia.
Favourite fact about Weah, really quickly. He recently brought himself on in a Liberian game at the age of 40 just to have one more cap against Nigeria. I've got so much time for that. So yeah, what a guy. Yeah. George Weah.
That's actually a pretty good quiz. Africa Sports. I'm going to look it up. It's probably like the Liberian youth team or something like that.
They might be the biggest team. I have no idea. For next week, that's your homework. You need to tell us, right?
So the answer was Ballon d'Or winner George Weah. To this day, the only African to have won the Ballon d'Or. So it was a pretty big name too.
Yeah, it's a big player. I didn't want to go too obscure.
I did not remind him going to Chelsea.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody remembers
nor
it, right?
City.
He was at City for a while. Well, 1 year, 2 years, but yeah.
All right.